Hello and welcome back to Mr. Adelman's fantastic math class. Today we're going to talk about naming lines and planes. Before we do that, I need to go over some quick vocabulary. Two vocabulary words that you're going to see for the rest of the year are collinear and coplanar. What collinear means is they're simply just points that are on the same line. Usually when they're talking about collinear points, they're talking about at least 3 points, because any 2 points are going to be on the same line. If they're talking about points that are not on the same line, they would refer to those as non-collinear points. In a similar way, we have the word coplanar. We're talking about 3 points, or even lines can be coplanar. So we talk about points that are on the same plane. And in order to do that, you need to have at least 4 points, because any 3 points would be on the same plane no matter what. And if we're talking about points that are non-coplanar, that means that we have points that are not on the same line. So non-coplanar, not on the same line. So with that said, that's going to help us with today's lesson, which is naming lines and planes. So if you want to take a moment and draw this figure. We have a plane here, and we have a few points. We have A, B, C, D, E. This right here, line that's a cursive L, lowercase, and in the corner here we have the uppercase script J. And so we're going to talk about 2 things. We're going to talk about how we name a line, and then how we're going to name the plane. So let's take a look. So the first question asks us to name a line that contains point E. And if we look right here, we have point E, and it's on this line right here. And so the easiest way to name this is we just name it using the script letter. That's going to be the easiest way. So we would just call this line L. And the other way that we've learned that you can name lines is by using 2 points. So we could call this line, let's go, since we have E there, so we'll call it BE. Or we also talked about naming it using the symbols. The other way, let me move this up a little. We also have CE, which, as we know, we can also name that line CE. And then finally, line DE, or DE. But if you can look, this line, it does contain point E, which is what we're looking for. But that is not the only way. Just because E is on the line that we're looking for doesn't mean you have to have E in your answer. You could also name this line BC. Or if we look, the next 2 points, or we could go with BD. And then I think the last point that we can use is line CD. So just for this one line that has 4 points on it, we found, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different ways to name that line. So let's go over and take a look at our second question. This is plane, name the plane containing point C. So point C being right here, and we have to name it. So the easiest way to name this, again, is by the script letter, and that is the script letter for J. So that's the easiest way to do it. The second way to name this is by naming it by 3 points that are not on the same line. So they would be referred to as 3 non-collinear points. So let's take a look. We can't name it, for instance, B, C, D, because those are all on the same line. So I need to pick a point that's not on this line, and that would be point A. So I'm going to start by calling it plane A, B, C. Third way to name this would be, let's go with A, C, D. And a fourth way to name this is point A, C, E. Now again, I've used C in each one of these, but that doesn't necessarily mean that our answer has to contain C just because they're asking for point. We can name it different ways. For instance, we could use plane ABD, or plane ABE. And I think there's one final way we can name this, is probably using plane A, D, and E. So by this one plane that has a line with 4 points and then a point off that line, we found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ways to name that plane. So that is all we have for this example. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in class or on my blog. So that's all for today. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you real soon.